Welcome to the Giants Huddle podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. Please subscribe to the Giants official podcast network and the Giants Huddle by searching for it on your favorite podcast platform. We welcome the head coach of the New York Giants, Mike Kafka, as the Giants get set to take on the Green Bay Packers at MetLife Stadium this afternoon. And Mike, it's been a whirlwind week for you. How has it gone as far as just trying to keep everything sort of in order and get ready to play a football game?
It's been great. It's been great. I've been very, very lucky to have a great staff around me to get me organized and keep me organized and really kind of follow the vision and the way I kind of want to run things. And they've been able to really knock out a lot of the main, like, big picture items that I've been thinking about. And it's been really cool to kind of see the players adjust as well, adjust and adapt. And they've done a heck of a job. I'm really proud of that group and really proud of the organization for stepping up.
What was the first messaging to the team when you addressed them for the first time as far as what you expect and what you want Mike Kafka's football team to look like?
I think what's really important and things that I've learned from the head coaches I've been around is, the football team, it really is a representation of the personality of your head coach. And so I think if you approach it with confidence, with poise, with detail, I think the players will follow suit. And so I think, you just go in there, you be yourself, let them understand, here are the things we got to do to win this football game. Here are the things that we got to do to continue to get better and grow as a team. And then you lay out a plan for them, and then you let them go execute it. And if there's things that we got to change and adjust along the way and just continue to stay flexible, then we go ahead and do that and make those adjustments.
All right. I'm sure your phone was blowing up this week. Were there some significant people in your life outside of obviously family and loved ones that reached out to you via text and or gave you a call and wanted to just give you a little advice?
Yeah, there was so many people that reached out and still working through getting back to everybody. But it's really cool to feel the support from former Giants players, from current Giants players, from family, from people and coaches around the league. It was really cool to feel that, that kind of love and support. And, it makes it easier when you're going through a situation like this and you want to do your best to really feel that support from a lot of people.
How valuable was it for you having an opportunity at the East-West Shrine game and at the Senior Bowl to kind of serve in this role and to be able to manage a staff and manage a game? That experience I know this is different. This is an NFL game, but still to be in that seat and understand all of the different dynamics that go into the job.
Yeah. There's all the different pieces that work together. And I'm lucky to have LY to be there for me and help keep me organized because, there are a lot of moving parts. And the best you can, you want to get everyone in one room and give them a direction and have them understand your vision and then make adjustments along the way. I don't think there's ever an opportunity to be exactly perfect or try and be too perfect. It's just, all right, you have a direction. You let the people that are in those positions do a great job and do their job to the best of their ability because that's why they're here, to do their job. And I can support them in as many ways as I can and help them in certain aspects. And so, continue to bring open lines of communication and collaborate with the great people we have in the organization.
Huddle up, get in here. If you're lined up here, you gotta go over the middle with it to score.
Right. How do we make that happen?
I don't know, but Citizens does.
Make sense of your money with Citizens, official bank of Eli Manning.
Obviously, as you're finding out, just because you're sitting here doing this interview with me, getting ready to play the Packers, that there's more to being a head coach than just coaching. You made Tim Kelly the offensive coordinator. Why was that move important to you?
I thought it's a great move. I really loved him in terms of being a coach, in terms of being a person. To me, it was a no-brainer. Our staff and how he's able to combine both the run game and the pass game and really understand it. And plus, he has a bunch of experience too. So it was really a no-brainer for me. I loved him in terms of how he operates in the building and how he prepares. And he's been one of those type of guys that I lean on in game day. Making adjustments and talking about how the flow of the game is going. So he's a guy that I have a lot of trust in.
Obviously, from a defensive standpoint, you're playing a Packers team that has a lot of explosive weapons. We all know what's gone on this season as far as being good enough to be in contention to win some of these games, and they're just not going your way. what are some of the things that you want to see out of your defense in order to be able to close some of these things out? And I know it's complementary. I know special teams is tied into it. Obviously, scoring in the red zone, maybe to put a game away. But from a defensive standpoint, what do you want to see?
Yeah, I think the defense has had an aggressive approach to start these games. Now, whether it's a defense, offense, or special teams, as a unit, as a complete team, we just got to finish. And when we get these opportunities to make plays at the end of the game, and any of those groupings or any of those units, we got to do it. And it's about us coaches. We're putting together a great plan, show them in certain examples of where we can finish and how we can get better, and then the players putting these guys in a good position to go be successful.
All right, with Jackson Dart in the concussion protocol, you announced earlier this week that Jameis Winston would get the start. What is it being around Jameis for the first time that really has caught your eye, and why you think he gives the team the best chance to win this week?
Yeah, Jameis has a veteran presence. He has a lot of production in this league, and he's been a great addition to the quarterback room since we've been here. So I'm excited for Jameis. I know he'll roll with this opportunity and do the best he can, and lead our offense, which is what we need from him. Be able to go in there, lead the offense, go and execute at a high level.
Heck, in his 2 career starts against Green Bay, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. So that's not something to sneeze at either. So let's talk about this Packers team. From a defensive standpoint, when you talk about 3 levels, you've got Parsons and Gary, they're combined 14 sacks. Walker, the inside backer, and then former Giant Xavier McKinney leading the back end, and Nixon's having a fantastic year. What makes this defense so good?
Well, I think you hit on it. They have a great personnel that plays very aggressive. They tackle very well. They attack the football and are able to create turnovers. I'd say they're coached very well. They're very disciplined in their scheme. They're in the right spots, and so they make you play disciplined as well. So I think that'll be a great challenge for our players, not only just on individual battles, but overall being able to build out and work through the game plan and make adjustments along the way.
And sometimes, right, a punt isn't a bad thing as far as the game is concerned and the way the flow of the game goes, right? I mean, they've played a lot of low-scoring games. It's been talked about. Is that a situation where you have to kind of preach to Jameis and everybody else? We don't have to hit the home run here. If we have to punt, it's better than doing something silly.
Yeah, I think we have a plan on how we want to play the game. And then as the game declares, then I think you make adjustments based off of that. I think I know our guys are dialed into how we want to operate on offense and defense and special teams, and being in those meetings and seeing the energy and seeing the game plans kind of come to life. That's been really cool to see. Sometimes you don't really get kind of behind the door and you're not in those meetings, so being in them and seeing the players respond has been great. And I'm excited to see them go roll it out on Sunday.
So let's go to the other side of the ball with Love at quarterback. Obviously, the numbers are the numbers as far as this team. They've been down some receivers. They lost one of their big weapons in Kraft, the tight end, but they still have that running back that can pound you and then break you down. Is that the key to this whole thing, is making sure Jacobs does not stay on schedule?
And that's the unique thing about the Packers offense is they have a bunch of different skill sets. They have a running back, they got an O-line, they still have tight ends and receivers and the quarterback, and I got a lot of respect for Jordan and the production he's had. But yeah, they got a really talented offense, and they do a really good job, and Coach LaFleur does a great job of mixing and matching different concepts and really testing the rules on defense in terms of your run fits, and he's able to, create some multiple gaps and get the run game going. But they have a skill set that's pretty unique across the league, I'd say, and they do a really nice job of building that out and executing it.
If you want to know how to manage 2 minutes of crunch time football, I'm your man. But if you're wondering about a long-term financial plan, you should talk to Citizens. Hey, I can also talk lawn care.
I'd like to learn about a mowing routine.
Yes, I knew I could help.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
Does it help a little bit in the fact that, you've game planned that for them? And I don't mean, a long time ago. You played him 2 years ago at MetLife Stadium. So just kind of a sense of the way he wants to run his team, whether it's offensively or defensively.
You can get a sense of it, but obviously, over the years, every team is different. Every team changes, coordinators change, and how even the NFL. I mean, 3 years ago, it's a completely different NFL in terms of how teams are playing certain coverages and how teams are playing offense. So each year is a new year, and I'd say this is a different team that we saw from a couple of years back. It's just different. So we have to be, and we're a different team too. So we have to be able to, just get into the game, get into the flow of the game, adjust, adapt, and then be aggressive when we need to be aggressive.
Coach Andy Reid has obviously been a big influence within your career. You were a fourth round pick of the Eagles back in 2010. You were on his staff in Kansas City before coming to the Giants. What are some of the tenets that have held true and constant that you learned from him, which is why he's been so successful, and that you want to sprinkle into your reign as the head coach of the Giants?
I'd say the number one most important thing I learned from Coach in that time, and there's a lot, but one of the most important ones is just being yourself, and just be your authentic self. And I think everything pretty much takes care of itself from there. So, and the beauty of being in this position is that at one point I was in those seats that the players were in. So I kind of understand a little bit of how they're feeling and where to kind of direct them. And so I think I can relate, and I can, continue to build on the relationships that I do have. Majority of those, are on the offensive side because I'm in front of those guys a lot. So I think the more I'm around the defense, the more I'm around the special teams and having them understand who I am as a person, who I am as a leader, who I am as a coach and a man and a father and a husband, all those things. I think the more opportunities they get to see that, I think the clearer it'll be a picture of who I am.
All right. So, a lighter question here as you've gone through this week, and all of a sudden there's all these things that are coming at you. And I know you've interviewed for head coaching jobs. I know you've studied all this. You've worked your whole life to have an opportunity to be a head coach. But is there one thing that's maybe come across your desk like, I got to make that decision too?
That's really good. Like, I think a lot of the things that we've been talking about, because again, like I was very conscious of not just making changes for the sake of change, just because I really wanted to be intentional with the minor tweaks that we made that could help the players, because that's really all I was thinking about. So we have a great staff, a great support staff, and there's a lot of great pieces here. And so I think I was leaning more or less on their expertise on, okay, here's how we've done it. Here's how we do it. Okay, maybe just a little minor tweak here or there, but I think for the most part, the group and the staff that came together really had a really good thing in place in terms of just the communication. So it was just more or less for me just saying out loud what I'm looking for, and then allowing them to kind of go put their flavor on it and go execute it, which I think is cool. Like, you want to collaborate with everybody, but these people are here because they're really good at their job. So you also want to give them the flexibility to go ahead and do their job and not put them in a box. So I've been just kind of just going with the flow right now. And when I can add something or subtract something that I think makes sense for the team, I've been able to do that, but I'm not trying to get overextended, not trying to, continue to do too much in one day, but, kind of live like one day at a time, build it out. And again, I got a lot of great people around me, so lean on them, lean on their opinions and their expertise, and just, continue to be myself, and understand that the main task is here on Sunday. I got to, we have to be able to go out there and execute, and let the other stuff kind of surrounding it, lean on the people that have been put in place here, and allow them to make it right.
And plus you'll input the data in your head of what happens on Sunday of, okay, maybe moving forward, here's some other changes that have to be made, right? But you want to see it in real time before is that what you're trying to say? Like,
yeah,
you wanted it in real time.
Nothing that's going to just be set in stone. I want to continue to evaluate it every single day. Yeah, each week we'll go back and kind of debrief what happened the last, this current week, right? So we'll debrief it. We'll talk through it with the heads of each department, and go through it again each week and say, all right, how can we get better? How can I get better? How can I serve you? How can we continue to get the players in a better position? And then we go and put a plan together to go do that.
Coach, we wish you the best of luck against the Packers. Congratulations on the opportunity. We know you'll do great, and thank you so much for joining us, getting ready for the Giants and Packers.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
That's New York Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka as we get you set for the Giants and Packers Sunday at MetLife Stadium. The Huddle podcast is brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. From game day celebrations to your everyday financial needs, Big Blue fans can get the most out of their moment with Citizens. Learn more at citizensbank.com/Giants.